slow living doesn't always have to be that picturesque cottagecore vibe that you see on Pinterest or on YouTube. Some of these people live these beautiful, aesthetic, slow living lives that some of us can only dream of. I want to share with you some practical ways to adopt a slow living lifestyle, because if you're like me, someone who lives in suburbia, you have young kids perhaps, you're just in a season of life where you can't live that picturesque, perfectly aesthetic, slow living lifestyle, but you still want the benefit of it. There are ways that you can achieve that. And so let's get started on how you can adopt some practical ways of slow living into your maybe busy life right now. The first thing is to adopt a mindful morning routine. And this is something that I think all of us can achieve regardless of the type of life that we live right now, because starting your day off with intention will set the tone for the rest of your day. It will get you into a good headspace, and I think we really underestimate the importance of a mindful morning routine. And the nice thing about it is that that doesn't have to look the same for everybody. Maybe your mindful morning routine will be getting up early before the kids, having a nice cup of tea, doing some reading before the day starts. That's somewhat what mine looks like, but it might be different for you. And so it doesn't have to be the same for everybody, but setting aside a little bit of time just to get yourself into a good space to start the day is so valuable. And it's a great way to incorporate a little bit of a slow living lifestyle into your daily life. Another thing that you can do, that we can all do, is to limit our screen time. I think we really don't sometimes understand the significance and the impact of screens in our lives until we limit the screen time. So setting aside some time where we don't go on our phones, or we don't watch TV, or we just get away from it for a little bit, or designate a space in our home that is like a screen-free area. Those types of practices can really help us to slow down a little bit, be a little bit more intentional and mindful with how we're spending our time. And it's a great way that anybody can incorporate a little bit of slow living into their life. Another practical way is to simplify your living space, and I think all of us can benefit from a little bit of decluttering. The world has become such a crazy, chaotic place, it seems at times, that our home should be a place of peace. It shouldn't be another place that we come to that just overwhelms us and causes us stress. So by decluttering, by simplifying, creating a peaceful environment for yourself, wherever you live, it doesn't have to be some cottage in the woods. It can be a little house in the city or in suburbia, that you can create that peaceful environment for yourself is going to be so beneficial. Another practical way to embrace slow living is to get out in nature. And it doesn't matter, again, where you live. We can all do this. I know that for myself, sometimes it's just a little bit of time in the backyard. If I'm in the house with the kids and things are getting a little bit overwhelming sometimes and patience is running thin, stepping out into the backyard, even for 10 minutes, getting some sunshine, some fresh air, makes a world of difference. It helps us to just take a moment, be present, which is a huge part of slowing down, is to just be present and to be mindful of the moment that we're in. And so getting out in nature is a great way to do that. Another thing that we can do to practically adopt some slow living lifestyle into our own lives is to practice mindful eating. And this seems, maybe it sounds a little bit silly saying it like that, but a lot of us probably eat while we're doing something else. Maybe we're distracted, maybe we're scrolling on our phone while we're eating or watching TV. We're not really focusing on our meal, and sometimes just taking that extra moment to sit and just eat and only eat is a little way, a small way that we can adopt a more slow living lifestyle, because it helps us, again, to be present and in the moment and not distracted. And that in and of itself helps us to slow down. Another big one, and it's a practical one, but it's a big one, is to prioritize rest. If you're in a season of life, like myself, with young kids, it's almost like ingrained into us that you're just not going to rest in this time in your life. Things are going to be busy. Things are going to be chaotic. Anytime you talk to somebody and they ask you how things are going, they expect you to say, "Oh, I'm so busy. That's just how things are right now. I'm busy, I'm busy, I'm busy." It doesn't have to be that way. It is important more than ever, I think, when you are a mom of young children especially, to prioritize rest. Schedule it into your day if you have to. Treat it like anything else you would that you put into your schedule. Make time for it. And it doesn't have to be to take a nap. It doesn't have to be that kind of rest. It doesn't have to be just lying down. But whatever that rest looks like for you, something that is just personal time to yourself that gives you some sort of peace and calm, schedule it in and prioritize it. Honestly, it will replenish you, it will give you more energy, and it will just feel so good to make that a part of your day, a part of your week. So prioritizing rest is a great way, very practical way, but a substantial, impactful way to incorporate more slow living into your life. I think ultimately these types of practices will help you to experience more peace, more purpose and fulfillment in your life. The whole point, in my opinion, of a slow living lifestyle isn't to have the aesthetic of it, although that would be beautiful, to live in, some remote cottage in the woods somewhere and just be baking all day and living out in nature constantly. That would be lovely, but it's not realistic for all of us. But the whole point of it is to find purpose and fulfillment and intention in our day-to-day life. And I think that these practices can help you to do that. It will help you get back into the present moment, which is what this is all about. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. I hope you got some value from this video. I hope that it inspired you to slow down a little bit, live a little more intentionally. If it did, please give it a like and subscribe for more. I will see you in my next video.